Did you know that the Chicago Bears can clinch a spot in the NFL playoffs this week? I'm going to tell you how they can accomplish that. Plus, we got some new injury updates for both the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers heading into this Saturday's rematch from a couple weeks ago. My name is Harrison Graham. We are so close to 145,000 subscribers. As I'm filming this, we are 13 away. Who's going to be number 145,000? If you want free and daily Bears content leading up to this game and all year long, all you got to do is subscribe. It's 100% free. Playoffs, playoffs. Bears 10-4, knocking on the door of making the postseason for the first time since 2020. And there's two scenarios where they can clinch this weekend, and they're both pretty similar. If the Bears beat the Packers on Saturday, all they would then need is a Lions loss to the Steelers or a tie versus the Steelers. If the Bears and the Packers were to somehow tie on Saturday night, a Lions loss would also get them into the playoffs. Now, if the Bears lose this weekend, they cannot clinch a postseason berth. But if they win, they are very, very close, and all eyes will be on Pittsburgh and Detroit on Sunday afternoon. Now, you're probably asking, what about the NFC North? What is the scenario there in terms of clinching the division? They can't clinch this week. However, if the Bears beat the Packers, as we've discussed, they would be a game and a half up with 2 weeks to go. So the only way they wouldn't win the division if they win this week is if they lose to both San Francisco and Detroit, and if Green Bay were to win both of their final two games. So you win this week, your chances of making the playoffs not only skyrocket, but your chances of winning the division skyrocket as well. Saturday is the biggest Bears game, especially at Soldier Field, in at least 5 years, but probably since 2018. It is a massive game. It is against your hated rivals. It's an opportunity to avenge the loss from 2 weeks ago, and it's an opportunity to essentially punch your ticket in the postseason and get very close to winning this division. That place better be rocking. We heard Ben Johnson say the fans were fantastic against the Browns, and he expects it again this Saturday night. Grady Jarrett wants this to be the loudest game of the season. I expect Soldier Field to be on fire on Saturday night. And by the way, if you're on the fence about going, it's going to be like in the 30s. That's not that cold for this time of year in the Windy City. I can't wait for this matchup. Vegas has Green Bay as a slight favorite. Let's prove them wrong. I think the Bears are the better team right now. I think even though they got a lot of injuries, the Micah Parsons injury is a big deal. I think Chicago is laser focused on winning this game because they know exactly what's at stake if they can win this game. If you want the Bears to beat the Packers, you know what to do. Get the FGBs going down in the comment section below, because if they can pull this off, we are so close to dancing in the NFL playoffs. All right, coming up next, Bears-Packers injury updates as we get closer to Week 16. Injury report dropping for the Bears today since they play on Saturday. Normally, first one of the week drops tomorrow, so we'll dive into that. Plus, Matt LaFleur had some interesting comments on a few of their key players and their availability for this week as well. But first off, got to welcome back an awesome sponsor. That is Rocket Money. I love Rocket Money. I've been using the Rocket Money app for a few years now. It's a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and help lower your bills so you can grow your savings. You may not know this, but some of you guys do if you follow me on social media, or I've mentioned it a couple times. My wife and I just bought a house. That kind of costs a lot of money to do that. So Rocket Money, I've really been using them on a day-to-day basis. Like, okay, where can we cut back spending? Okay, we're spending too much on eating out. Let's cut back on these streaming services. And Rocket Money helps you do that very, very easily. It's going to categorize your spending, but also if you want to cancel certain subscriptions, you just go to that one. A few taps later, they're going to help you get that subscription canceled In most cases, you don't have to go directly to the product that you're canceling. They will handle that for you in most cases, so that is very, very helpful. Rocket Money has saved users over $2.5 billion, including over $880 million in canceled subscriptions alone. Their 10 million members save up to $740 per year when they use all of the app's premium features. So what are you waiting for? Cancel your unwanted subscriptions. Reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/bears now. That is rocketmoney.com/bears now. One more time, rocketmoney.com/bears now. Get started with the best personal finance app today. It's better than your personal banking app. Okay, let's get into the latest on Rome Odunze, and then we'll look at the full injury report. He was a DNP today, but we'll dive into that specific part of it in a second. I kind of guesstimated this as I kind of make up a word yesterday that the Bears are balancing kind of the short term versus long term with Rome. Like, can he fight through the pain? How big is the injury risk long term? And I think Ben Johnson's comments kind of confirm that that's exactly what's happening. Ben said this yesterday, quote, he said, "I know he wants to be out there on the field, competing, contributing, and helping our team win. There may be a case where we got to protect him from himself a little bit. All options are on the table." Jeremy Fowler, ESPN insider, kind of chimed in because Odunze is considered week to week right now per source, but sounds like that could change based on what action the team and the player take. So I read that as, do you take the risk, right? There's clearly conversations ongoing in the building with the coaching staff, the medical staff, with Odunze himself. Hey, can you handle the pain? Hey, medical trainer, okay, he's got a stress fracture. How bad? Like, what's the worst case scenario? Could he have a major fracture, which is a 6-month rehab potentially this offseason? Like, all of these things, I promise you, are being discussed. So how do you thread that needle? Do you play it safe and just don't play him the rest of the year? Do you sit him a couple more weeks, hope it heals a little bit more? It's obvious he's not going to be 100%. A stress fracture is not going to go away. He's probably, at minimum, going to have to do major offseason rehab, but probably going to have some kind of procedure to clean up that injury. But do they feel like they can avoid the major injury if they do play him? So all of those things seem to be on the table. That's why Ben Johnson said it's all on the table right now. We got to kind of figure it out. So I don't think he plays this week. He was listed as a DNP. Now, these were injury estimations here on Tuesday as they went through a walk-through. Obviously a short week, just played on Sunday later in the season. The practices kind of dwindled down a little bit. Luther Burden also listed as a DNP. I think he's got a decent chance to play this week, a better chance than Rome, but probably going to be kind of in that game time decision ballpark if I had to guess. Eamon Ogbongbemiga left Sunday with a hamstring injury. We'll see what his status is. Probably not going to go if he has some kind of a strain. And then Andrew Billings is dealing with an illness, so should be fine for Saturday. Like I mentioned earlier, walkthrough estimations, but typically these estimations are at least somewhat accurate, but we'll have a better feel tomorrow and Thursday about where some of these guys are at, especially those receivers, as we're keeping a close eye on Luther Burden and Rome Odunze. The following players were limited. Travis Homer dealing with that ankle. Did not play last week, so he's trending up. And with Amino going down, it'd be nice to get Homer back for special teams value. Cole Kmet got banged up in that game. Ankle, knee, was beat up on Sunday, but he's tough. He'll play through it. And then Tremaine Edmunds, who we told you guys yesterday, had his practice window opened. He was listed as a limited participant, so we'll see if he can kind of ramp up as the week goes and play on Saturday. That would certainly be huge. Short week, not a lot of time to prepare, but it's a massive game, as we've discussed, obviously. Now, Tyson Bagent, who was sent home on Sunday because he woke up with, the flu or something, whatever it was. He was a full participant. He was out there, so the Bears should have their backup QB available this week on Sunday, whereas Case Keenum served as the backup a couple of days ago. Okay, let's talk about the Packers now. Matt LaFleur talked about various injuries today. Obviously, life after Micah Parsons, saying that Jeff Hafley will have some new wrinkles in there. Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness, guys like that going to have to step up. But Parsons is not the only injury they're dealing with. Clearly, he's not coming back towards ACL, but some other players left their game against Denver. Christian Watson, Zach Tom, Evan Williams, all three starters. Matt LaFleur, he kind of basically said, we're going to give these guys until game time. So I would not expect these guys to practice much, if at all, during the week, but they're going to stretch this out as long as possible with hopes that one, two, or all three of these guys could play on Saturday. Why? Because this is kind of it for Green Bay if they're going to win the division. If Green Bay does not sweep the Bears, like we said earlier, they're a game and a half back of Chicago, and their chances of winning the division are very close to zero. Whereas if the Bears win game and a half up, they're closing in on the division. So Green Bay knows this is kind of an empty the tank spot. If these guys can play, they're probably going to play through it. So we'll see. I think on a normal week, these guys would not play, but I would not be shocked if one or a couple of these guys try to give it a go, just given how high the stakes are of this Bears-Packers game on Saturday night. Matt Schneidman tweeting out that LaFleur said all the non-Parsons guys, because he's out for the year, will be fighting to play Saturday night, because it's to that exact point. The stakes are huge. Division's basically on the line. Winner of this game controls the NFC North heading into Week 17. So they know what the stakes are. They know what's on the line. And if you're Christian Watson and you're 80%, you might give it a go, because if you play this week and get banged up and lose and win or whatever, you could rest next week. But we'll see what happens. I think if this was a normal week, these guys would probably all be out, but I wouldn't rule them out, just given the meaning of this football game on Saturday night. I do think the short week makes it tougher, but it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds again. Tomorrow, Thursday, those will be telling days for both the Bears and the Packers with these key injuries for both of these teams. Also, a little side note before we get out of here, the Bears did release practice squad linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maben. They had already used all three of his practice squad elevations. They signed Dominic Hampton to the practice squad, another linebacker. Basically just swaps a guy who they could elevate for game day if they needed to on that front. Producer Cullen just got this pulled up here. Why don't you hop on the mic here, Breeze, and read some of the Packers injuries here.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up. Christian Watson did not participate in practice today, as did Evan Williams. So just wanted to kind of touch base on that. Marshawn Lloyd re-aggravated a hamstring injury, their former third-round pick. It looks like Matthew Golden did practice today. Josh Jacobs did not practice, for what it's worth, with a knee and ankle injury. So just some notable injuries just wanted to pass along to Bears fans.
Yeah, Dontavian Wicks, DNP, Savion Williams limited. So we'll see how that goes. And, yeah, the Marshawn Lloyd one, Matt LaFleur, without saying it, basically said they would not activate him off short-term IR because he re-aggravated that hammy. Their other backs have been good, especially if Jacobs plays, so they should be okay at the running back position. All right, there you have it. Those are the latest injury updates. Tomorrow, Thursday, will be big days as well. Go ahead and predict the score for us. Bears, Packers, who wins? What's the final score going to be? I'm reserving my prediction for my preview episode, but I'm kind of working on a take here, so stay tuned. That's all I will say. Don't forget, we are so close to 145,000 subscribers. If you want to help us get over that hump, we would greatly appreciate it. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll see you guys soon, and bear down.